Okay, so now let's paint the other half of her hand. So maybe let's focus on the front. The first thing I always do is just separate the elements. At this point we can do it more freely, it won't be a problem. Just to mark the lines where the different elements of the sculpt combine. Okay. Also the points, let's separate the fingers. Okay, and let's start adding shadows to the bottom part of the hand. So here, also some shadows on each finger. I must be careful because I don't want to ruin the previous skin tone that I painted. If something happens, you can always take some water and try to wash away the paint that you misplaced. When it's dry, you can take some airbrush cleaner and delicately using the airbrush cleaner you can remove the paint with a brush. But if you notice that it's very fast, then just wash your brush with some water, take a little water on the brush and try to wash away the paint, because if you do it fast, it's not drying that fast and you can remove the stain or something that you have done by accident. Okay, so next thing is to separate the shadow on her upper part of the hand. So the one light source is from this side, but the other one is from this side. Okay, so here there will be, in this place, there will be a line that will combine both, maybe something darker. This line will combine both views, both light sources. So one from the front, one from the back. And we want to add some shadow here, because when we look from this side, then the shadow will be visible on the outline, and also from this side. Maybe let's rotate it just to align with the light source. Also here it will be visible on the outline. Yeah? So that's important. Maybe in the end it won't be that dark as I made it now, but it's good to sketch it, just to plan it and use it later on. So you can see that we have a mainly rough sketch of the lights and shadows, yeah? And now let's start blending it. Also, there are some things that we can add. I will try to do it at the end, because when all the fingers are very close to her chest, and her chest is very illuminated, so the bottom of each finger should have a little highlight, because the light that is reflected from her chest will illuminate the bottom side of each finger. So we can add it later on. But now let's focus. Okay.
Kimera, dłoń, druga część.
So now let's start highlighting just those places that are more visible, that will catch more light. It's important to have in mind that when painting hands, we should take into account that there's a lot of bone underneath the skin. So we want to show all the knuckles, all the whole sculpt of the arm, of the hand, and all highlights will be placed in such lines, because even if the finger ends, there are some parts of the muscles that just move the finger here, so here will be also a line of highlight in the next one, and that's important to show when painting hands, fingers. Also we can use more yellow tones because the bone will be visible from underneath the skin tone. Okay. As you can see that I'm not painting the tips of her fingers because there are some fingernails, and I will paint them in a different color. So now we can show maybe the side. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we want to just now highlight all the fingers. So you may be asking why I'm highlighting from the darkest color. In my opinion, each layer of color is visible in the end. In some places that if you just highlight from the dark or maybe even from mid-tone, but in a different, maybe with some red colors, or maybe with some additions of blue, in the end it will be visible even in the highlights because acrylic paints are transparent, they don't cover fully, and even adding some colors in the mid-tones or in the shadows and then highlighting the surface will produce a different feeling, more complex feeling. And especially for skin tone it's very important because we know that under the skin there's a lot happening, and there are muscles, there's blood, there are bones, and everything influences the color of the skin. So the more colors you will add in mid-tones, the more colors you add in shadows, they all will add up and be visible. So most of the time those are additions of red, yellow, blue, some people use even green, just to modify the skin tone, just to add a different feeling. And it makes the skin tone not so plain in the end. So even on the video that I've showed you of mixing skin tones, it's important to have this in mind because every color, every skin tone composes of some colors that we have to mix together just to produce this color. So here I used yellow, red and violet. That's not present here right now, but we could add this color, all those colors, just to modify all the colors of the skin tone we are using. Some parts can be more red, some parts can be more yellow, some parts can be more violet, and especially it depends on the thickness on the skin. So in places where the skin is thick, there won't be that much red blood visible, but in some places it's thin. So in the thin places you can add more red. In places where the skin is stretched on bones, you can add more yellow because the bone will be visible from underneath the skin.